Welcome back, everybody. Once again, it's Greg from Bugout Gear Layouts and Tactics, a prepping site Facebook page, and urban safety survival.net. Busy day for me. Busy day for me. As you can see in the background, for those that are on the Facebook page, I posted some military surplus that I had incoming. I went and picked it up today, in the process of going through grading everything before I posted to eBay, Facebook, and stuff like that, just to help people out. So this Friday night, I want to talk about. The other day, I was going through YouTube, and I came upon a video. The video was entitled "The Bugout," a short story by David Crawford. I watched the video. Very, very insightful, very, very helpful. The gist of the story is, it's basically the father of a family that preps. He was bestowed, blessed, however you want to call it, with some information about an imminent terrorist attack that was incoming. At the wee hours of the morning, I want to say 2 something in the morning, if I remember correctly. Woke the family up, and he noticed that he wasn't originally a Y2K prepper. For those of you that don't know what that is, that was back in the late 90s. Everybody thought that planes were going to fall out of the sky when the year 2000 hit, because computers couldn't read the 00. It would read it as 1900 and wouldn't work, something like that. So getting things ready, getting the family to respond, noticing that things were laxed, things were let go, warns of a lot of mistakes, some I'm even guilty of myself, using up all the batteries in the house without buying new ones, right? So it's a short story, like I said, gets you thinking, gets you realizing, hey, wait a minute, what about this, what about that, right? Not having bags packed ready to go, not doing things that should have been done. His way out, some mistakes were made, taking some extra risk. Look it up, it is on YouTube. It is The Bugout, a short story by Dave Crawford. It is also posted at survivalmonkey.com. I found it actually in writing. There you go, for those that can see it. He's also the author of Lights Out and another prepping novel. Like I said, it's very, very insightful. It does get your mind going and into thinking. It just brings home a lot for me. Like, I remember the Y2K scare. I remember it because my cousin, my aunt's daughter, her child, so my second cousin, was going around telling everybody, oh, the world's going to end, we're going to die. And he was young. I was young. He was a lot younger than me. And she had him so wound up with the fear-mongering, oh, the world's going to end, we're going to die. And it just, that was my first introduction into prepping, preparedness. I believe in that they call them hoarders. But that was my first insight into it. Not that I pay much attention to it, but I did. I did realize that some people were preparing for it. Again, I was young. I was like, well, if it happens, it happens. Oh well. Right, now I'm older, I have a family, I prepare, right? So it's just some things that I remember. Things like I said, he originally prepared for Y2K. The short story happens, about a decade after. Um, a lot of things that, hey, if we don't pay attention to, it can happen. Um, so it's a good read. Um, Again, I saw it on YouTube as an audiobook or a narrated story because there wasn't too many much pictures to it. But it gets you to thinking. It gets you to realize, hey, I put this back. I say it all the time. Train with the gear. Train with your gear. You've seen my videos. I hike with a Mali 2 rucksack. Um, I do. I get out there. I know how long it takes me to walk how many miles with that pack. Um, I train with my kids. They get out there. They're learning fire starting, um, tarp shelters. We're learning, right? I'm teaching them. They're learning, just like we teach anybody else in the classes. So they learn, right? The reason we do that is we want to make it muscle memory. Um, Again, a lot of mistakes here. A lot of mistakes. Um, One of the big things I see in the prepper community is, oh, well, if anything happens, we're going to run out to the woods. Right? There's a whole separate issue with that. But in this scenario, in this plan, they had a bug out location to go to. They had, in this type of scenario, this is what we're going to do. But they didn't properly plan for it, right? Having all the supplies at the house, having to go to the store to buy supplies instead of making sure that the supplies are stocked well at the bug out location you're planning to go to, right? I keep maybe a month's worth of food, maybe a little bit more, but more than a month end's worth of food. My bug out location, the camp where me and my group plan to go, that's where most of the stuff is. That's where it's going to be more useful. It lightens the load for when I have to leave. So if we come to a situation where we have to bug out, it's a lighter load because I'm not packing 6 months, a year worth of supplies into vehicles and going. We're grabbing bags, we're grabbing, just enough to make sure we have enough to sustain us to get there. Maybe an extra day or two just in case anything happens. We're not grabbing much. We're grabbing stuff that's prepared, ready to grab and go with it, right? And we're heading out. That's the way the group trains. That's all part of our SOPs and things like that. So that that's what we rely on. Not every situation is a bug out situation. Again, I always tell everybody, prepare for the event that you're most likely to face, right? So again, if you live in Tornado Alley, you're going to want to prepare for tornadoes. You're going to have a tornado shelter on your property. That's probably where your stuff's going to be because if a tornado comes, that's where you're going to go. Again, hurricanes, you're going to want to leave the area if your area gets a lot of hurricanes. If you're on the West Coast and you get a lot of earthquakes, you may want to leave that area where you get the earthquakes. But again, going back to the tornadoes, you're not bugging out. You're keeping the stuff in your shelter. So that's where you're going to fall back to. That's where you're going to go. That's where the stuff should be. Again, every situation is different. You just have to plan accordingly. You have to practice that plan. Run drills. Do what you have to do. Constantly check on your stock, right? So in my household, again, there's about a month or a little bit more worth of food. We replace things constantly, so we keep a list. If this week 4 boxes of macaroni and cheese, 3 cans of tuna fish, 4 Chef Boyardee were used, that's what we're replacing, right? First in, first out. Keep stuff rotating, that way it stays fresher. and you don't have to worry about, you know, old stuff. You know, what you're using is what you're replacing. So we have a system for that, right? That's what we do. That's what I teach people to do, right? So again, you have back to my goals and levels of preparedness: 30 days, 6 months, a year, 30 days, 3 months, 6 months, a year, whatever it is. Make sure you have that, 30-day supply. Again, FEMA's going to tell you 3-day or 7-day supply. Make sure you have more. That's what we do. That's what we teach. Again, this short story, The Bugout by David Crawford, very good. You will learn lessons from it. You will see the mistakes that he made, that the family made, and you won't let it happen to yours. So again, it's a good read. It's a short story. Again, I downloaded it from survivalmonkey.com. It's approximately, I'll tell you right now, 21 pages long. Back and front, 21 pages. Again, there is, I believe it was 2 videos on YouTube that narrate the short story. They were very well done. Check it out. Give it a read. You will learn a lot from it. Again, you'll see the mistakes. You see where he tried to make shortcuts and put his family at risk. So, again, it's Greg from Bugout Gear Layouts and Tactics, a Prep and Site Facebook page, and UrbanSafetySurvival.net. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell notification. It does help me out with the YouTube algorithm. I did notice that some videos they do allow to go through. I look at the analytics every day. I see one day I have a certain number of videos, then I'll check again later in the day and they deleted a whole lot of video views. That's why some videos have 10,000 views, some have a couple of thousand views, and some have 28. But when I checked, it was well over 200 views, and now it's down to 28. So please like, comment, and subscribe. Share the video. I do appreciate it. Have a good one, and stay safe.